In fact, in five years, we did five fundraisers and we made almost $20,000. It's been a lot of fun because GalaBid's been super easy and affordable. Hi, my name's Sharlene. I've had the opportunity to fundraise for Partners with Paws, a service dog charity in southwestern Ontario, Canada. It's a service dog organization in southwestern Ontario that provides psychiatric service dogs for people with disabilities, completely free of charge. The whole payment is covered by donations and donors, and they're not required to pay for anything. And they get a fully trained service dog that they are also trained on how to essentially operate the service dog with what commands they know and that kind of thing. And based on what I've seen over the last 5 years of volunteering, they are incredible. I'm a huge dog lover. I love pets, but this isn't just about the dogs. It's about the people. And to really give people with psychiatric disabilities the ability to, go out by themselves with their dog or interact in like normal everyday things, go to school, go to work, go to whatever, it really gives them a second chance. And it's pretty incredible because these dogs, they know so much, and you don't even know how much they know until you see it in action. So it's pretty awesome. My actual first search for a platform was for my sister. She was in need of a service dog herself. We found out the organization that I've been volunteering with after we funded her service dog. Um, so we were looking for a platform that allowed anybody to run a fundraising event, because the money went obviously towards the organization that trained the service dog, but I wasn't a charity and I needed to be able to fundraise those funds. A lot of um, platforms that we looked at were very specifically charity only, and I've done other events for other organizations that are not necessarily a charity but are hoping to be one in the future. And so they were able to participate in on this sort of thing with GalaBid, whereas they wouldn't have been able to for other places. Um, GalaBid also offered a very low rate of fees, like pretty much no fees, but then they had the option to add like a thank you gift on to be able to like keep running GalaBid. Um, and then they hooked up to Stripe, which I found was super easy and intuitive because it was something I've used in the past, but if you hadn't used Stripe, anybody can sign up for it. And so you do all that payment processing and you don't have to worry about being an organization or being an individual or being a charity. You could have whatever you needed to be able to do this. I was able to talk with our Partners with Paws team about different options to do for fundraiser. It was during the pandemic, and we needed something that could reach more people, but could keep social distancing. And so I had done some research and I found a couple different platforms, but this one here, GalaBid, it really seemed like it was the most comprehensive and the most user-friendly, being that I offered my services to assemble everything and make it all complete for the organization because they don't actually have any staff. They're run completely by volunteers. I wanted something that would make sense for me to be able to use, that wouldn't be super complicated and coding and all that stuff. So I was researching and I looked at GalaBid and it really actually made sense. And it made for a really great opportunity for our charity. And it was all, they had all the background of everything you need, the subs like getting your people in as subscribers so they could purchase and bid on items. And the website hosting to be able to do that and all that specific stuff that I was going to have to try to figure out. It was all included in GalaBid. And so we were really excited about how well that was to put together, but then how easy it was to share out to our subscribers and our followers. Um, and we were able to do a couple of like how-to videos on how to go through GalaBid and actually bid on things. And that opportunity really made sense to my subscribers and my followers. And we were able to do really well with GalaBid. In fact, in five years, we did 5 fundraisers and we made almost $20,000. We ran fundraising events in a collaboration with in person, but the first couple of years were completely online. And we were still able to raise, uh, I think it was just over $3,000 the first year, $2,000 the second year. Um, and I think it was year 4 we did an in-person and collab online, but the auction was completely separate from the in-person, but we printed off QR codes to the GalaBid fundraiser and handed them out to everybody that was at the event. And we were able to get even more bids on our items. We actually made almost $8,000 that year. We had a fundraising book that my executive director had written that she was selling for people. And so what we decided was that we were going to put that fundraising book as the very first item in our GalaBid so it wouldn't get missed. So everybody that scrolled onto the page would see it right away. And then our second item, we actually made a buy it now as well, but we put it down as a buy it now $25 donation and a $5 donation, something that was like stretch the ability of people. So some people could afford the 25 or the higher donation, but some people could afford something a little bit less. But that would add to the amount of donations that we got throughout the silent auction. And then of course, what we did was we really structured how we put the items onto the GalaBid. And if it's your first time and you're just starting out and you're not quite sure how you want to do it, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter whether you structure it out or not. But for me, I wanted to be able to find the items very quick and easy when handing out the items at our location. So I actually put the whole thing in alphabetical order. I used an Excel sheet. I did all that work there and just functions. And I put it all up one at a time in order so that it was really easy to set up and be able to grab which person needed what, because order number whatever would have item number 1, 2, and 3, and then I could just go grab item 1, 2, and 3. It was so much easier than the first year when we did it just kind of scattered, but it was a lot of fun and it was really easy to use. As I mentioned, the system's kind of user friendly. If you're looking for a bid item, you put down that you're doing a bid item, and then where you want to start the bid at, and how much you want it to grow each time a bid happens. All that data was all there, and it didn't take hours and hours to fill out. It was really intuitive and able to fill it out nice and easily, but then still have a very successful fundraising campaign.